The life and legacy of Radcliffe Killam was honored today during a memorial service held on the front lawn of the Killam Company office. The 97-year-old philanthropist and oil giant died of natural causes at his home on September 8th with his family at his side. Now hundreds gathered today to celebrate Killam's life.
For the right reasons. And he deeply cared about his family and Laredo, and Tammy is an example of that, and he just really deeply cared about everyone in South Texas and helping everyone have a better life.
Well, among the many Laredoans gathered today were dignitaries, community leaders, and dedicated employees, all who admired his hard work and dedication. Many spoke about Killam's priorities to improve our community, especially his role in creating Texas A&M International University. Now, the family donated the 300 acres of land the university currently sits on. Rather than flowers, family members suggest contributions to the TAMIU Scholarship Fund or a charity of your choice.
In a poll, they trust military commanders to resolve the war far more than the president or Congress. President Bush plans a prime-time speech on what next in Iraq later this week. In Washington, Brooke Hart, NBC News.
Well, back here at home, Laredo has lost a generous and influential businessman.
Our Jackie Gill has more on Radcliffe Killam and his accomplishments as a successful South Texas wildcatter and a man who enjoyed contributing to local organizations.
Radcliffe Killam, known as an oil tycoon in South Texas, passes away at the age of 97. Today, his son David and daughter Kati reflect on his legacy.
No, he was a great guy, and he was a real leader from the standpoint that he did things not only by example, but also gave you some instructions, and he had a lot of experience, and so he was a great influence on my life.
It's really gratifying to feel like your father has lived a good life, and he's been a good example.
His father, who came to the southern border to look for some Texas black gold, and after finding success, his son Radcliffe Killam worked alongside and eventually took over the business.
At that time, when he first came down here, there was no oil and gas production, so my grandfather was fortunate, lucky enough, and good enough to find something.
It was then, in the early 1920s, that Mirando City began to boom as they started to drill for oil. People say they remember him for carrying a yellow legal pad, writing down and evaluating new ideas. It's that ambition that has brought him much success here. Killam always believed in giving back to the community that gave him so much. He believed that education would help the growth of Laredo, and his charities helped create TAMIU.
He was a strong believer in both healthcare and education, and so we can look right here to our right and see this university, and he felt like that was going to be the most important aid to Laredoans to improve their lives, was to get an education.
Well, a memorial service